Hello students, today we will see part 2 of Glimpses of the Past, which is chapter 3 from class 8th Honeydew book. Dear students, we will discuss about the greatest social reformer Ram Mohan Roy, who was born in 1772 and who passed away in 1833. He was the greatest scholar who understood the cunning policies of Britishers. He was a learned man from Bengal, and what was wrong with the country, this he understood better. He just said, "Let us not despise ourselves. Our ancient culture is great, and we are capable of greater achievements. We must first reform our society. Superstitions have been ruining us." Dear students, there were variety of customs in our ancient or earliest culture, and people were following those cultures blindly, that were illogical, and due to which the Indians were easily befooled by the Britishers. Raja Ram Mohan Roy always said to his wife that cows are of different colors, but the color of their milk is the same, white. So, different teachers have different opinions, but the essence of every religion is the same. It means that there are many religions in India: Hinduism, Islam, Christianity, etc. They all are having different kind of opinions or views, thoughts. But indirectly, all the religions are teaching us the same lesson, that we all should follow good path. We all should do good to others. But in spite of that, all the Indians are fighting with one another. All the religions are having conflicts with one another. And Britishers are taking advantage of this thing. Britishers know very well that they are always fighting with one another. Here, they means Indians, who are having different caste, different religions. So Raja Ram Mohan Roy thought that Indians should get education. They should get the education of science, as he was attracted by science and modern knowledge. So he started newspapers, but this effort was in vain, because Britishers stopped these newspapers in 1823, because they thought that these newspapers are making them aware. The Indians were getting aware of what is wrong or what is right. And in this way, the Britishers were having danger that all the Indians would go against them. So they stopped the newspapers. This made him very angry. So Raja Ram Mohan Roy crossed the sea and went to England to see what made the British powerful. There he told them that we Indians have no problem if the Britishers become their rulers. But He told that Indians would accept the Britishers, their rulers, only in one case, if they also accept them as their people, as their subjects. Like a king rules over a kingdom and takes care of the people living in the kingdom. Same way, Ram Mohan Roy told the Britishers that we Indians also want that if you are our ruler, here you refers to Britishers, means if Britishers are the rulers, then they should treat Indians as their own people and they should take care of themselves. In this way, Raja Ram Mohan Roy always tried his best to make his country aware and free from the superstitious old thoughts. Now, dear students, I want to tell you that 1765 to 1835, Britishers followed many policies that oppressed the Indians. That means ill-treated the Indians. This was the time of oppression, maltreatment or ill-treatment by Britishers towards Indians. In 1818, Britishers passed Regulation 3, and under this law, an Indian could be sent to jail without trial in a court. If the Britishers found something wrong with them, they directly sent them to jail, and they never listened the Indians. British officers just got big salaries and they increased their private business. Britishers ruined Indian industries and their own British goods they sold worth 7 crore rupees to India. They always discouraged Indian industries, and in this way the East India Company flourished in India and the British prospered on the company's loot. At that time, Bentinck was the Governor General, who always said that the bones of cotton weavers are bleaching the plains of India. This statement refers to the fact that manual cotton weaving has become a dying art in our country. In an age where man is being replaced everywhere by machines, cotton weaving or cotton weavers are becoming extinct in our country. This line talks about the cotton weavers losing their job and their misery, painting a sad picture in the plains of India. These cruel acts and policies of Britishers made the Indians dissatisfied, and the period between 1835 to 1856 was the period of dissatisfaction. Education in India was only in Persian and Sanskrit language. In 1835, an Englishman named Macaulay suggested a change, and he brought the English medium in India and started teaching everyone through the English language. And as a result, English education produced clerks to whom the British gave petty jobs under them. Incidentally, it also produced a new generation of intellectuals who were the people who were able to think and understand complicated ideas. Indians started thinking that they must teach their brothers also and they should try to improve their material conditions. For that, they understood that they must convey their grievances, their problems to the British Parliament. As you see this map of India, you may understand that by 1856 the British had conquered or won the whole of India. Here the pink part refers to British rule, which is in majority, and only the few places were there that were not under the control of Britishers by 1856. So Indians understood that the Britishers were always thinking about themselves only. They had no care of Indians, and this way all the Indians became aggressive and they started opposing Britishers. They understood that their Indian kings were just the puppets in the hands of Britishers, and they understood that Britishers wanted to convert them into Christians. So they thought that they should do something against them. In this way, from 1855 to 1857, all the dissatisfied Indians got together. There were a variety of reasons that made them dissatisfied. The first important things were the taxes that continued destroying the peasants or farmers. In Bengal, the Santals, who had lost their lands under new land rules, became desperate, hopeless. In 1855, they rose in rebellion and massacred Europeans and their supporters alike. Means they killed Europeans and their supporters. In East India Company's army also, there was discontent, means dissatisfaction, as the British or the white soldiers were getting huge payments and big buildings to live with servants, while the Indian army who were working for East India Company, they were getting very low salaries and slow promotion. In this way, they stood against Britishers. The East India Company was also forcing the Indian soldiers to cross the sea or to go to Britain, which was against their religion. And in this way, the soldiers were also getting aggressive and they also were against Britishers. Sepoy Mangal Pandey attacked the adjutant of his regiment and was executed. Thousands of other sepoys revolted. Sepoys were the Indian soldiers in British Army. They started speaking against British Army, and in this way they were stripped of their uniforms. They were insulted and put in irons. Britishers hurt the Indian soldiers also by using the greased bullets that were having the fat of cow and pigs, which they had to bite from their mouth, which hurt the Indian soldiers' feelings because it was against their religion to eat the flesh of any other creature. All this discontentment made the Indians plan and fight against the atrocities and cruelty of Britishers. And very soon, Indians started sending their messages from one village to another by chapatis. And they told the people that their emperor would want their service. And similarly, Lotus flowers also were circulated among Indian soldiers to spread the message that all the foreigners or Britishers must die. In this way, the Indians gathered together for help, and they also gave shelter to the patriots or the country lovers who were fighting for the freedom of India. And finally, in 1857, the revolt started, which was known as the First War of Independence, because it was the first time that all the people, men, women, children, old, everyone gathered together to fight against Britishers. The revolt started from Meerut. The Indian soldiers moved to Delhi, and they just wished good luck for their Emperor Bahadur Shah. Many landlords also joined the revolt, who were having sore feeling for Britishers, whose policies had taken their lands from them. Many former rulers like Begum Hazrat Mahal of Lucknow were also having bitter feelings for Britishers, and they wanted to take revenge from them. Popular leaders like Maulvi Ahmadullah of Faizabad told the people to rise against the Angrez who were destroying their motherland. Everyone joined the revolt of 1857 against Britishers. The people rose everywhere in Bareilly, Kanpur and Allahabad. Azimullah Khan told Tatya Tope that they should have Peshwa Nana Sahib as their leader in this war of independence. The patriots or the country lovers jumped upon the British and fought pitched battles all over North India. 80-year-old Kunwar Singh of Bihar received a bullet in his wrist, and just in pain he shouted, "Mother Ganga, this is my last offering to you." Means dying also, the Indian patriots were just praising their motherland, India. Dear students, this was the beginning of the awareness of Indians that they should also be free. They are also having the right to get freedom. And after that, the revolt continued, and finally, the India got freedom in 1947. So these were the glimpses of the past, the short scenes to remind you about past. Hope you have understood the chapter. Thank you very much for watching the video.